Chapter 3 The Ghost of Summer Past. I went back to sleep thinking that was the end of it. Everybody has a bad dream now and then, right? No big deal. It happens every day. I was sleeping soundly. I'm not sure if that means I was making a lot of sound or if I wasn't making any sound at all. Anyway, after an hour or two, I heard the clock strike 10. That was weird, because I don't have a clock in my bedroom. I opened my eyes. The window was closed, but I felt the presence of somebody or something in my room. And then there was this spooky voice. AJ, AJ, AJ. My name echoed off the walls. Maybe it was my imagination. It could have been a hallucination or a dramatization. I'm not sure, because there was very little illumination. My name is an abbreviation. There should have been some elaboration or amplification. It was very poor communication. That was my evaluation. For me, it was a humiliation. I just hoped it wasn't an assassination. I should conduct an investigation. Sorry, I got carried away. And if you look at the star at the bottom, it says, "Isn't using big words fun?" If you ask me, I should get a standing ovation. And then, suddenly I noticed a fuzzy-looking figure hovering over my bed. Ah! It was a ghost. Okay. I know I said there would be nothing else about ghosts in this book, but what was I supposed to do? It was out of my control. The ghost just showed up in my bedroom. You've got to believe me. I could see right through the ghost floating in the air. It started forming into the shape of a person. He was a man, a bald man. His head was glowing like a light bulb. Actually, he looked a lot like my principal at school, Mr. Klutz. But why would Mr. Klutz be floating over my bed in the middle of the night? I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to do. I had to think fast. Who are you? I asked in a trembling voice. I am the ghost of summers past, he replied. Your past, AJ. Oh, yeah? I said. I don't believe in ghosts. Well, we believe in you, the ghost replied. You look a lot like the principal at my school, Mr. Klutz, I told the ghost. I bet you say that about all the handsome bald-headed ghosts who hover over your bed in the middle of the night, said the ghost of Mr. Klutz. Are you one of those spirits that my friend Billy said was going to visit me? I asked. You got that right, replied the ghost of Mr. Klutz. What are you doing here? I asked him. What do you want with me? I'm trying to sleep. This is a school night, you know. The ghost of Mr. Klutz held up his hand and made a victory peace sign with his fingers, which means be quiet. Come, he said, holding out his floating hand. Follow me, AJ. Huh? I said, which is also, huh? Backward. I got out of bed. Follow you where? Where are we going? Out the window, the ghost of Mr. Klutz replied. As he said that, the window opened all by itself. But the ghost of Mr. Klutz giggled. What's so funny? I asked. You said but, which sounds just like but, even though it only has one T in it. Well, that was true. They really should have two separate words for but and but it seemed like a pretty immature thing for a man to say. The ghost of Mr. Klutz floated over to the window. Come with me, AJ, he said. We're going on a journey. Out the window? I asked. I don't think so. You can go out the window. I'm staying right here. Don't be afraid, AJ, the ghost of Mr. Klutz said. Floating halfway out the window, you can fly just like me. The ghost of Mr. Klutz was nuts. No way, I told him. I'll fall. Hold my hand and you won't fall, he said. Just take one step. Trust me. He was all the way out the window now, floating there. I went over to the window. I'm scared, I admitted. You scared? The ghost of Mr. Klutz said. Isn't that what you're always saying about that girl in your class named Emily? How do you know about that? I asked. Oh, I know about everything you say and do, AJ, the ghost of Mr. Klutz replied. Come, don't be a crybaby. Take a step out the window and come flying with me. Nobody calls me a crybaby. I put my foot up on the windowsill. Flying sounded cool, even though it was scary. I leaned out the window. I put my other foot on the windowsill. I closed my eyes. I took a step. I was floating. I was flying. Wow, I said. which is Mom upside down. Am I a ghost too? Am I dead? Temporarily, yes, said the ghost of Mr. Klutz. Okay, follow me, AJ. I floated out the window and put my hands in front of me like Superman. The ghost of Mr. Klutz led the way. We flew over my house and started gliding over rooftops. I was swooping up, down, left, and right. Flying is probably the coolest thing in the history of the world. If I could choose one superpower over all the others, it would be the power to fly. We flew a long way, maybe 1,100,000 miles. Suddenly it wasn't nighttime anymore. It was the middle of the day. It was hot out. I could see water in the distance. It looked like the ocean. Where are we? I asked. We're in the past now, the ghost of Mr. Klutz told me. It's last summer. Do you remember last summer, AJ? Sure, I told him. My family rented a beach house and all my friends came over. That's right, said the ghost of Mr. Klutz. Suddenly, I could see the beach in front of me. It was filled with blankets, coolers, umbrellas, and lots of people playing in the sand and swimming in the ocean. Look, I shouted. There are my friends, Ryan, Michael, Neil, and Alexia playing football on the beach. Hey guys, look at me, I'm flying! They can't see or hear you, AJ, the ghost of Mr. Klutz told me. Remember, this isn't today you're seeing. This is last summer. Oh yeah, I said. Oh look, there's me, and there's Mr. Sunny, the lifeguard, and there's Andrea Young, that annoying girl in my class with curly brown hair. We swooped down low. Mr. Sunny was building a giant sand castle.